Our next storyteller is the star of Survivor's Remorse and Daytime Divas. Welcome actress Tichina Arnold.
Oh, I know there's more of you out here than that. Oh, God, thank you. Whew. I got on my mother's last damn nerve, and that's how I got into show business. I mean, literally, I drove my mother crazy. But you know what? God has blessed me. I will be 48 years old in 15 days. Do the math. Oh, I hate math. Oh, I did the math. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to be 48. 36 years in show business. I'm a survivor. I had to think of it that way. I was like, oh my God, like, you know, no longer are you just like an actress, a working actress. You are a survivor. I've seen so many things come and go and so many different people come and go. And the best advice that I can give people is like, you know what? You got to love it. You know, show business is like your boyfriend. You know, it's not always going to pay your bills. It's not always going to give you attention. No, seriously. Like, it's not always going to say, I love you. It's not going to give you what you're looking for. It's not going to recognize your moments. Like, it's going to be either you're getting paid or you're not. And what are you going to do? Pull it out your ass? You got to love it. What else do you do? So when I realized that, I was like, okay, what was the turning point in my life, like for show business? Because I've done it since I was 11 years old. This is all the money that I've made. Like this is all I've done. My father, you know, he was a retired police officer, but at the time he was a cop, and he was determined. Like, he was like, look, you are going to do something that's resourceful, and you're going to give to humanity, and you're going to be a part of society. And I was like, okay. You're going to scrape the ice on this icy wagon. Okay, Dad, I'm only 8. But he was determined. And I said, God, the whole time I'm scraping ices for other little kids. It's the summertime. Me and my sister are scraping ice for other kids to have ices. And I'm like, God, I hope I don't run into anybody that I've auditioned with. I'm going to look crazy. But show business is all I've done. It's just, you know, my epiphany was when I was doing the Buddy Holly story tour. I did it. It was considered bus and truck, but it wasn't really bus and truck. Like, they had a shitload of money. Like, the budget was really good. And I said, if I sing one more Big Bopper song, I'm going to kill myself. That's what theater does. Like, I was born and raised in the theater. The first job, Me Nobody Knows, Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn, you know, and it was an amazing experience, you know, just being on stage. That's when I fell in love with the stage from when I was in church. I started singing at 3, and I was like, wow, people are paying attention to me? This is awesome. So I just kind of went from there, and then, you know, I said, you know what, I want to do nighttime television. You know, I did 4 years of soap operas. You know, notice how I'm giving you my resume. But this is all part of the story. This is why we're here. You know, I have a story to tell, and it's like 4 years, 2 years of All My Children, 2 years of Ryan's Hope. I'm like, okay, yeah, I did that for the clap. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. But I said, I want to do nighttime. You know, I didn't even call it a sitcom. I was like, I want to do nighttime television. I want to go to nighttime. So I took $1,500 from the Buddy Holly story. I used to make $1,500 a week for it, you know, just doing backup, Big Bopper songs. And I saved a little bit of my money, and I said, you know what? I always ask myself this question. This is what I tell other actors. Before you make a choice to do something, you know, before you decide to do something, you have to ask yourself, if I don't get the results that I want from making this decision, will I regret it? And I asked myself that. I said, you know what, Tichina, if you quit this job, you're making $1,500 a week. If you quit this job and you go to California on a wing and a freaking prayer and you don't get work, will you regret it? And I answered myself, hell no. I'm getting on this damn plane, and I'm going to California, and I'm going to look for work. Within 2 weeks, I booked 3 gigs, tested for 3 gigs within 2 weeks' time. Almost unheard of. Give me a hand clap, will you, please? So I booked Martin, and yeah, Luther's in the house somewhere another. But I booked Martin, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And we didn't know we had on Martin. It was an amazing, like it was just a show that was kind of created as it was made. It was just magical, and you don't appreciate that till later. And then I said, you know what, I this comedy thing is great. But I start, I'm kind of afraid to pray sometimes because if you get what you ask for, you may not be ready for it. So I was just like, okay, you know what? I wanna do a dramatic role. Like I gotta do a dramatic role because you know what? Everybody's typecasting me, comedy is my thing. That's my forte. That's what I do with my freaking eyes closed. But to do drama and just envelops a role that just has no comedy whatsoever. Well, honey, God landed that role on my lap. I got the wonderful opportunity I was asked by Ralph Wilcox, who's a fellow actor, producer, director, and he just had this story he brought to me. He said, I would love for you to play the life of Lena Baker. And Lena Baker was a real woman that lived in Colquitt, Georgia, and she was the first black woman to be executed in the state of Georgia. This is a true story. So I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I get a chance to play somebody else's life, and I'm working with A-list stars, Peter Coyote, Michael Rooker, Beverly Todd, and I'm the headline. Okay, my name was first. Like it was Tichina Arnold. Then Peter Coyote's name was here. And then Michael Rooker's name was here. And then Beverly Todd was right there. But I top billing, bitches. What? So I'm like, oh my God. Tashina, you can't mess this up. Like, you have to bring the noise, bring the funk. Like, you have to do it. And my sister reminded me of this the other day. Thanks, Anae. This is why I chose this story, because I'm like, oh my God, I zoned out. Like, I never have been one of those actors that, I'm in a moment. Please don't talk to me. Some people, we actors, a lot of us are weirdos. Come on, admit it. Freaking weirdos. But you have to be sometimes because we're playing other people all day long, every week, like we're somebody else. So you go to the happy place. And so this character wasn't a happy place. I mean, her life was tragic. The life ended tragically. She just got postpardoned. Clap for that, because she got pardoned, like post-death pardon. I don't know the proper terminology because I'm old. I'm 47. I can't remember things. But it was just such a pivotal moment in my life. And I was always told, I'm a city girl. I'm a Yankee. There's a lot of work in Georgia right now, so I didn't realize how New York I was until I moved to Georgia. And yeah, I'm total Yankee. I'm just kind of prepared to kind of get arrested. Just like, my mouth got me in trouble. Damn it. But I'm in the backwoods of Georgia. Backwoods. Now, I mean, the backwoods is that's the perfect terminology for it because it's behind the woods. Like, how there's the woods and then there's the backwoods, like the backyard, all like West Bubblefuck, okay? So I was already warned, like, look, you got to be careful driving late at night in the backwoods of Georgia. They still had Confederate flags up and stuff. So listen, to each his own. But I'm in a land that I don't live in. I'm not accustomed to the Southern lifestyle. And I'm driving, and Tom Tom, remember Tom Tom? That little Tom Tom? That's the perfect name. Tom Tom, like Tom Tom! It will just, Tom Tom was, the satellite was okay, but it really zoned in on, it made streets for you. Like, it created a street. So I said, Tom Tom, please, because I'm coming home late from set one night. It's, pitch black. So my dad always reminded me, he said, Tashina, you ever get stopped by the cops? Because he's a cop, and he always gave me very good, how to deal with if you're stopped, black while driving. Hey, we all go through it. I go through it. A lot of us go through it. So I'm like, okay. He said, Tichina, please, just whatever you do, if you ever get stopped by the cops and you're in a dark area, put on your hazards. Make sure you tell you make sure that the police know that you acknowledge that they are pulling you over. You go slow. You roll your windows down. And you keep driving until you get to the light. Never stop in the dark, because it could be people that are, pretending to be police, which that somebody was doing, like, to a lot of women. So I'm like, okay, I'm following all of my dad's directions. I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ, the cop, the light came on. I wanted to fucking pee on myself. I didn't mean to curse, I'm sorry, but I wanted to pee on myself. So I'm remembering everything my dad is telling me to do. I was like, slow down. Tell the cop it's okay. You just make sure to put on your hazards. And you slowly drive. So I found a light. It was a gas station on a corner. Get to the gas station. So I'm looking through my rearview mirror, and I'm like, okay. I don't get service on my phone, so I can't call anybody. I'm like, okay, Tichina, just calm down. Be good, be good, be good. And then the cop comes out. She comes out by herself with the shotgun. I was like, oh, yeah, that's somebody riding shotgun. No, that's the shotgun riding shotgun. She comes out. She says, ma'am, I think you're I said, oh, my God, you won't believe what just happened to me. I was on set, and I've been on there for like 16 hours, and oh, my God, you cannot believe how nervous I am. Like, I totally turned into a white girl. So that being said, you can play any role you want to, but given the certain situation, you could be anybody you want to be if you have to. Hang in there, people. If you are part of this show business industry, hang in there. It never ends. Make it what you want it to be.